choose a smaller offer if we think the marketing and the marketing budget is bigger, because to some extent, once the advance is of a certain level, so it's not absolutely essential to get more, I would rather the publisher invested money in marketing the book, which ultimately is more likely to sell more copies, and then the royalty earnings will be greater. Sometimes we will trade a lower advance for higher royalties if we believe that the book is going to sell and sell and sell and sell. If the author is desperate for cash, then you have to try and get as much cash as you can, in which case you might get worse royalties. So, I mean, if you go to a very good, respectable publisher, you will normally get a respectable deal. But generally, agents earn you more money than their commission. So,
what are the average rates?
Commission?
Yeah.
I can't speak for Germany, but in the UK, the majority of agents now charge 15% for the UK market and 20% for everywhere else. The reason for that is in most of the other countries we use a corresponding agent and then we take 10 each.
It's about the same.
Yeah, it is the same in Germany. We have time for one more question. Thank you. Yes?
For the author who's writing is specifically targeting new platforms like iPads and new social media, what room do these particular individuals have inside the traditional publishing framework?
Well, as I said, we try to follow very precisely the developments of presence of stories, of literary content on the markets, and we try to catch up with the developments. And as I said, for example, our publishing house is now launching ebooks.
Are you doing books as ebooks that you're not doing in print?
Not yet, no. It's, I think in the German language area we are a little bit behind what's going on in the States and the Anglo-Saxon world. But that will follow soon, I think. Publishers will understand that there are certain possibilities also to launch new profiles of authors or stories which they maybe do exclusively on these electronic devices, because it of course keeps the costs down, and yeah, there might be chances that that are not used today but will be very soon. Maybe there are specialized publishers in this now popping up who are already more familiar with all these techniques, and of course a traditional publishing house might be a little bit slower in adapting to all these new possibilities, but they will certainly do that because it's crucial for them to stay in this market as well.
But just to keep it in perspective, I would guess that the average sales of electronic books is probably between 5 and 7% or something like that, give or take a couple, compared to print books. So it's very small. I wouldn't write anything targeting specifically for electronic books. If you want to write something, surely you want to be read by the largest number of people possible. And for the next 5 or 10 years, that will be in print. The balance will change, but for now, it will be in print. And I mean, there are 3 million iPads. I don't know how many Kindles and Sonys there are, but it's going to be a long, long time before the majority of reading is done. Don't believe the stuff on Amazon saying they're now selling more copies of ebooks than they are of things. They're just trying to sell Kindles. So they want people to think that this is what's happening. But actually it's very small. It's very small. The fact that most of the events in these 3 days happen to be about digital publishing is partly because none of us really know what the future is going to be, or exactly what it's going to be. We know roughly, but the book is going to be around for another 100 years, long after these are considered obsolete. We'll still be having printed books. Thank you all very much.